No. Hello. Okay. So all right. So we are going to be answering some questions that we got from our first video. The question that we've got the most is why aren't we doing an IUI? Why we are going straight into IVF? And in order to understand why we can't do IUI, you have to understand Josh's diagnosis a little bit better. So I'm going to be explaining what his diagnosis is and why we're doing IVF. So if you don't want to hear details, then don't watch this video. Come back for the next one. So basically, Josh was diagnosed with the congenital bilateral absence of the vas deferens. So the vas deferens is basically tubes that carry the sperm through, and
mine didn't fully develop.
Yeah, his tubes didn't fully develop, so they're shorter, so his sperm doesn't carry all the way through. Therefore they have to do a procedure to
Remove.
Well, not remove, like,
Well, not remove.
they called it like something. They pull the sperm out with like a syringe. I don't really know the technical terms, but I'm trying. So the way that his dad explained it was the sperm is over here, eggs over here. He went through testing, I went through testing, all of our levels are perfectly fine.
There's no bridge to connect it to.
Yeah, so there's no bridge to get the sperm from here to here. So basically what they're doing is creating this bridge for us because there are no tubes that they can put in, so we have to go through IVF. The reason we can't do an IUI is because the procedure that they have to do, they can only get so much sperm. So with an IUI, the intrauterine insemination, you need a good amount, and they're unable to get that much doing the procedure. With IVF, you only need a tiny little drop to fertilize the egg, so that would be our only option.
I don't get the difference between the two, but I don't know if you do. Because the IVF thing, there's enough, once they do the procedure, there's enough to do like 30 eggs or whatever.
Yeah, that's because with IVF, they take the sperm that they retrieve and then they freeze it, and then whenever they do my egg retrieval, they fertilize the egg with only a tiny little drop. With an IUI, they basically put like a catheter in, and then the sperm goes through, and then it would go in and fertilize itself, so it needs more. But since they are doing it, they only need a drop. So that's the difference, and that's why we would only be able to do IVF, because the way the doctor told us that if they were able to get enough with the syringe to do an IUI, we would only have that one chance. So if it didn't work, then we would have to wait. We would have to go through the procedure again, and that's just more money. So every time he gets that procedure, it's $1,700 plus $500 that the clinic charges. So with IVF, though, he said they can fertilize like 30 eggs if they have them, because they only need the tiniest drop. So that's why we chose to go with IVF. We wouldn't really be able to do IUI anyways, even if we wanted to. I don't even think that he would do it. He was just saying, like, if we had enough, you'd only get one shot, but I don't even think it's something that he would consider doing. So that's answering that question. That has been the question that we get the most, which makes sense because, like, we're young, so everybody's like, why are you going straight to IVF? Like, there's so many other options, and for us,
really not.
There isn't. So that's why. The next question, it was kind of like a 2-in-1. It was how much does it cost and what are the success rates? How much it costs varies on what your circumstances are, what procedures are needed. So I'll just go based off of what it is for us with this specific clinic, because the consultations that we've had prior were completely different, way more expensive. This clinic, their IVF cost, like, it includes everything, is $5,000. And whenever I say includes everything, I mean includes extras that we need. So basically, like, their price for IVF includes all of the extras that we would need. However, we do still have to pay extra for medications the insurance does not cover. We have to pay extra for Josh's procedure plus the $500. We have to pay extra for like testing and things like that we'll need. So my medication alone ranges from $3,000 to $6,000. So it does get pretty pricey. So total, all in all, we're paying close to $14,000 total. But at the other clinics, it was $14,000, not including the $3,000 to $6,000 for medication, not including his procedure. So it's a lot cheaper. It's still expensive, but it's a lot cheaper. The success rate, it varies, age, what your diagnosis is. Our doctor was pretty confident that our success rate, well, not success rate, but he was giving us like a 60% chance that it would take, because my levels, all of my tests came back totally normal. Josh's levels are totally normal. It's just like we said, we don't have that bridge to get the sperm from where it needs, or from where it is to where it needs to be. So, and
the younger you are, the higher it is.
Yeah. So before 30, your chances are higher. So he did give us like a 60% chance that it would take, which
is a high number.
Yeah. Typically, I think it was about 30%. Yeah. So we're really hopeful that it will work, but infertility it's rough. Like, one of the other questions that I actually got was like, how are you guys so positive? And it's like, it's taken a really long time for us to get here and have this much hope. In the beginning, actually, I wouldn't even say in the beginning, over the last couple of months have been kind of like the easiest, where we went to this clinic and now we finally do have hope. But in the beginning, I cried almost every single day. Some days couldn't even get out of bed. I had to get on antidepressants. Like, I mean, that's the real truth of it. Like, it gets hard, and the last few weeks have been a little bit better, but there are days where you're just like so scared that like maybe this isn't gonna work. So I'm not always this positive, but lately it's been different. I've been really trying to hold on to that hope. Dogs per usual. So yeah, that was one of the questions, is like, how are you guys so positive? And I'm like, I wish I could say that I've been this positive since day one, but I feel like things got really hard because we had our appointment on our 1-year wedding anniversary, and it was their only appointment, and we were like, oh my gosh, this is a sign, it's gonna be good, like everything's gonna be great, it's on our anniversary, like let's just go. So we go, and then we cried all day long. If anybody has me like on Snapchat, me and Josh literally had like a fort in our living room and stayed in there all weekend and just watched movies and cried for our 1-year wedding anniversary. So that was fun. Yeah, we just went in with so much hope. So we've kind of learned to like be hopeful, but not like too high, too low. Just kind of like take it day by day, and it's hard. I mean, if you guys want me to document the days where I'm sitting on my bathroom floor bawling, I will. If you want to see real, it's not always this happy. There are days where it's hard. Please hold. Girls, come here.
That one.
Okay. They're over here playing, so I don't even know if you're gonna be able to hear me.
She still wants to get you.
And then, well, there's only one question left, so we'll just answer that one too. Why did we decide to share publicly? There are a few reasons. The first one, I would say,
helping other people.
Well, that wasn't the first reason. The first reason where we decided to finally start opening up, they are never this hyper this late. Please stop, just go to sleep. So the first reason why we decided to open up was because we've been together for 11 years and married for a little over a year. So what question are we always getting? When are you having babies? Where are the babies? Our parents, we want grandbabies. Our sisters, we want our kids to have cousins. And how do you keep just like lying to people, I guess? I wouldn't say lying, but in the beginning it was really hard to talk about it. Even with us talking about it, I would just burst into tears. I couldn't even get a sentence out. So like to talk to other people about it and then to not even know what the diagnosis is yet or anything like that, it was just so hard to talk about. And then you were kind of like put on the spot when somebody would ask you like, when are you guys having babies? It's like, gee, I wish I knew. We've been trying for 6 months. So it was just, especially because a lot of the times when we got questions, we were at like events or birthday parties or things like that, and it's like you don't want to be like, oh, actually let me bawl my eyes out real quick and tell you why. So that's why we never really told anybody. But then we found out the diagnosis, we found out what route we were going to take, so we decided to create a private Facebook group and share it with like our close friends and family. And I think there were maybe like 20 to 30 people in that group at first, and just telling those few people, I had people reaching out to me saying like, oh my gosh, I have a friend that just went through IVF and now they have, you know, this many kids, or oh my gosh, like me and my husband are going through this, which clinic did you go to, like I want to get tested, like, and it was just 20 to 30 people. And I was like, oh my gosh, like we're not the only ones dealing with this, which like obviously I knew that, but it just hit so close to home that we're really not the only ones going through this. And that that's whenever we decided to kind of take it outside of that private Facebook group, because we have been going through this for over a year now. So I feel like, and if we can save somebody from going through all of those hoops, and if people have questions on where to go, what tests we did or anything, if there's somebody that we can help, this is so stressful, so emotionally draining, so financially draining. We wasted so much money going to consultations that just clinics that, yeah. So I mean, our clinic isn't going to work for everybody. He worked today, he's tired. Our clinic isn't going to work for everybody, but if it does work for just one person and it saves them from having to jump through the hoops that we did, that would be enough for me. And if I can help somebody, then that is all the reason to share. And then not only that, but it's created so much conversation, and we've had people reach out to us. We have people to talk to, they have somebody to talk to. It's just, we can talk to our families all day long, but they're so supportive and so loving. But it's a different conversation when somebody you don't even know reaches out to you and they're going through the same thing, and you guys just connect on such a different level. Because I'm not saying that our families aren't there for us. They are. They're supportive, they're loving, they've been by our side since day one, and they've helped us through all of this, but none of them really know what exactly it's like to go through this step by step. So it is nice to open that conversation and have more resources and to be a resource for people. So that kind of answers that question. There's kind of like two parts to that, but yeah, I don't regret sharing it at all. And I know that there are some people out there that are still keeping it private, and that is totally okay. I mean, it took me over a year to start talking about it, so that's why. I think that's all the questions that we had. The update, I saved this for last because I might cry. Between all of our like people that have donated through Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, the GoFundMe that my mom created, and also like the Facebook fundraiser that she created, we have raised $2,070. So we were able to schedule Josh's procedure for March 18th, and
which we'll give an update before and after.
Yeah, so Josh's procedure is scheduled. We are also able to put the deposit down to hold our cycle for March. We have also been saving, our parents are saving, so any help has tremendously helped. Like, you guys have no idea. Even there was like an anonymous, I've tried to reach out and thank everybody that has donated because no amount was too small, and I've had people like message me and say I wish I could help more. Like, you do not understand. $10 bought syringes that don't have to come out of my pocket, that I can put toward, you know, other funds that need to be paid. So every little bit tremendously helped so much, and we are now at the point where we can put our deposit down and we can pay for Josh's procedure. So thank you so much to everybody that donated, and also thank you to everybody that just reached out with kind words or prayers or positive thoughts. Like, every single message, donation is so appreciated. Yeah, I'm trying to hold back all of my emotions because I was not expecting such an outpour of just like love and support, and
at all.
No, so thank you so much. But I think that's everything. We don't really have any appointments going on until Josh's procedure, so I don't think our next update will be until March 18th, unless something comes up. So, but that's all for right now. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.